What's up, guys? It's Jubby MMA here with an instant reaction and a recap to UFC 314. Now, I've had to film this intro like 400 times because the UFC website is so god-awful, but so is my PC. But oh my god, he's done it! You can see how red my face is. Oh my god, dude. Let's get into this fight. Breaking down round by round because we're not even talking about 48-47. There's absolute tomfoolery on the post-fight broadcast. They didn't know what they were talking about. They were saying, what happened here? What happened there? I swear one of them was arguing for a 48-47 and the other was 49-46, but they kept agreeing. Dude, how dumb are these people? Not actually dumb. I love them, but, no I don't. But, dude, masterclass, dude. Dude, he outstruck him every round. Now, there were some solid moments from Diego Lopez, but if you were to score this for a full 25 minutes, 22 of those minutes were Volkanovski were in control. Now, there were some slower pace, some boring parts of this fight. The fifth round, there was some running. But he is so back. And kinda, he didn't look the exact same. But we'll break this fight down round by round. Round one starts. Volkanovski looking solid. It's looking a bit even-ish. It was even in the big exchanges with Volkanovski being able to outpoint him outside of those. There were some sketchy parts it was getting scrappy, and there were some sketchy parts within the clinch where I was like, damn, Volkanovski's open for these uppercuts, these knees again. That takedown at the end showed Lopez where he didn't want to be. Dude, he had this jiu-jitsu coach scared. He had Oleksiejczuk, her jiu-jitsu coach, run. Oh my god, he looked amazing on the ground. Cements that round easily. He was already winning it, though. You can clearly see in the strikes. Yes, we're agreeing. Perfect. Round two happens. And Volkanovski's kind of running away with it. Pretty close, but leaning a Volkanovski round and then that knockdown. I was like, damn. And the strikes are closer than I thought they would be in round two. The knockdown clearly cements it, right? It's a perfect 1-2. Volkanovski was leaning back with his lead hand down. Two landing. And he went back to his corner confused, like, this is the beginning of the end. He doesn't know where he is. Boy's lost. Get him out of here. And he comes out in round three and shows us why he's the great dude. Comes out, strikes him 25-9. Dude, he's out doing him. He is, and here's those big exchanges. Any Volkanovski fan was tensing up on all of them. I swear, I got the Diego Lopez takedown. I was sitting back, grabbing my throat, imagining Volk choking me. Of course, joking. That's weird as hell. But dude, oh my god, he outstrikes in round three. Round four. I mean, the numbers don't lie. I had it 49-46, but it is a flipping round, right? It is a close round, a contested round. Volkanovski was piecing him up for most of it, and then that weird fluky moment. No, it wasn't a fluke. Catch him nice with a nice jab to the eye. And it doesn't look like the eye what bugs him immediately. Clearly it's what bugged him after, but the uppercut too catches him. He's just running for that full minute and a half. But it's weird because he's running and not seeing, but was still outstriking Lopez in that exchange. A lot of the exchanges after, it felt like. Sorry, I am so hyped up. But he's just catching him, running until he's recovered and then goes back to fighting this round. I think it was 148 or 248-47 or 149-46. I mean, flip round, right? And then round five happens. He does what he needs to in the first 3 minutes, right? There's a lot of big cracking overhands that smack Diego upside the head, and Diego Lopez looking solid going into it, but I mean, insane chin. And I know Volkanovski doesn't hit the hardest, but those were some beautiful, precise shots, right? Some good check hooks too. A lot of solid hooks from Volkanovski. Then the jabs. Barely any leg kicks used throughout this fight. Lopez had better leg kicks in this fight, which was very interesting. Volkanovski must have been scared getting caught while throwing them, right? But he does enough and then runs for the last 2 minutes. Kind of sucked, but a lot of fans are walking out too. Felt bad. But dude, Volkanovski's back. Is he going to run through Evloev? I don't know. I could see him getting knocked out by Evloev somehow. Like, same way how I was surprised when Allen got rocked. I thought Allen was going to get hurt, but that bad, I was like, oh, damn. So I could see Volkanovski getting cracked and being this guy's first finish. Oh, my God. Just kill me already, right? But Volkanovski's ready to defend. Dude, he's climbing his way back up right through that GOAT list again. But shout out Volkanovski, dude. He's back. I'm going to be hyped for a week, for a month. Let's move on to this selling little... Dude, go to WrestleMania. You got washed, dude. And, I mean, this would be an amazing fight for the belt back in the 2000s, right? That's all Chandler was succeeded in 2000. This man, UFC 309, what was that, 5 months ago? He just went 5 rounds with Oliveira. Is Oliveira trying to pace himself better? Or did Paddy see too many holes that he could capitalize in this fight? I don't know. You could see the strikes were 121 to 20. We'll go round by round, though. Pimblett starts round 1 solid. I mean, Chandler has that good moment where he picks him up, goes for his big mighty slams. Yeah! Gonna prove to these guys how tough I am with these big mighty slams. And then proceeds to do 0 damage. Lands 1 good body knee. Pretty underutilized strike in this sport. 1 solid body knee, 1 solid hook, and proceeds to get out pitter-patted for every other part of this round, whether that be leg kicks, or little teeps to the body, or nice little jabs, I don't know. But he is just outdoing him. And what I was impressed by is Paddy Pimblett's flying triangle. It felt like he was in a position from that Chandler back take where he was really struggling to get out. But that flying triangle brought him to guard where he looked more comfortable to get out. Just saying, dude. Go to an analysis. But round 2, Paddy Pimblett was farming for these uppercuts while Chandler was getting, stalking him down a bit. Because anytime Chandler walked forward, that was the most of his success. Anytime he was on the back foot, there was absolutely 0 success. Not a single strike really landing. I don't know if this was the round. It was round 2 or round 3 where Pimblett just full on kicked him in the nuts as hard as he could. Going for those fouls. I'm so glad he got hit in the back of the head in this fight. He's just earned it. He earned a damn suplex to the back of his head. But Chandler stalks him to the fence. Chandler's head low, and then Paddy Pimblett's just farming uppercut. And then Chandler goes to the big old takedown. Paddy Pimblett outdoes him, controls him on the ground, takes his back, and he kind of rides it out. Not much happening. Paddy just clearly wins the round. Dominates it, but not dominates it to the extent of a 10-8. Now, we see the stats for round 2 just in case. Yeah, no, he was still, damn ahead. Right? Still doing the same thick leg kicks and all that, but his boxing was starting to work better. Then round 3 happens. And he does all the strikes it took to do in 5 minutes, he now does in 3 minutes, right? It is just utter domination. He starts the round, outdoing him, and then within the first, I don't know how early the knee was, must have been in the first 30 seconds. Beautiful, breaks Chandler's face open right away. You can see he's a bit hurt, and he's panicked, and he's running. Paddy Pimblett's just following him, chasing him down, and he'll strike, and then just brings him, and that same big old Chandler slam. The same big old Chandler slam. Pimblett gets him right back, and slowly just chewing him up with shot after shot after shot. And the second he makes it into mount, it's over. He had his back, and Chandler had to pick the lesser of 2 evils, either being flattened out with back taken, or full mount and elbow after elbow after elbow. And Chandler is just done. I don't want to say he's washed, but Paddy Pimblett just ran over you. Didn't ran over you, no Jeep, buddy. He ran over you the damn tank. Wasn't even close. And I mean, Paddy's ready. This is not the same Paddy that gassed against Tony and didn't kind of just rode out that 3rd round or lost to Jared Gordon. This is a new, reinvented. He looks amazing. And I know he beat Chandler. And so this is kind of confusing because Chandler's an idiot. So maybe he just found out the big holes and worked him. But, dude, also, Chandler ran off like a little baby. And I know, broken little face, but it was confirmed that there was no damage at the end of this pay-per-view. And it was just visible, right? Superficial damage. So, just saying. And I'm going to make a card builder after this. So that's why I'm not saying no matchups now. But I think I have some weird matchups that I think will work. You're just not thinking it. But amazing show from Paddy Pimblett. Pass with flying colors. I do not see this happening at all. But great. Now we move on. Finally, dude, one of these Bellator fools gets put in his place. Sorry, I didn't get that loud, but... Dude, Pitbull starts off round 1, right? And he's not doing much as the chief. And I swear there's one big moment in it, that big head kick from Yair. But he is just slightly outdoing Pitbull. All Pitbull had was that big leg kick. The rest were just quick body snap from Yair. And I swear Yair's feints were so unbelievable because the time it took him to do that feint, he could have already finished 2 kicks. But what would I know? I'm literally a dumb moron reviewing the fights, not doing them. Anyways, the bigger shots. Yeah, our Pitbull lands a takedown at the end. And Pitbull's a big old whiny Pitbull. Little crybaby Pitbull. Some rabbit punches happen to the back of the head. Pitbull is doing 0 damage on top. Instead of trying to throw any damage, he is just complaining. And they were to the back of the head. Hey, dude, that ref that fight, I think it was the same ref that was there for the Ige Vs Sean Woodson fight. He's not going to help you. He's not going to help anyone. He's going to try to ruin this fight. So better leave yourself away from him. But let's continue, right? So we continue on. Round 2. Yair wins the round, I think, pretty safely. It was close, but it's just had the bigger shots, right? Round 2 starts, and Pitbull started off better. Landed some bigger, stronger boxing combinations. I'm like, oh, wow. And then Yair just proceeds to not box with him. And just out kicks him. Right? It's like, oh, yeah, why am I boxing with him? I am a Taekwondo Feng Shui master. And he just slips away, body kicks. And there's this thing that happened at the end of the second round where it looked like every time Patricio was hit with a kick, he would want to reset. Let's start again. So Yair would just kick him. Oh, time to reset. Kick him. Time to reset. Kick. And he just got off this kick after kick after kick without Patricio Pitbull landing a single ounce of effective damage while taking kick after kick after kick, right? And a lot of them to the body, and it's just stopping him in his tracks. And then round ends. Round 3 time, right? And it's the same story a bit for the first 2.5 minutes for round 3. Just outdoing with kicks, dude. Why do we sign the Bellator guy? Get him out of here. They're not on the level. Have fun fighting the Patricio Pitbull Chandler rematch in the GFL. Surely that's not going down the drain. And then Yair drops him in round 3. Drops him to the little crafty 1-2. That's all he has in his hands, seemingly. Never going to drop anyone with anything else other than a 1-2. Drops him, and then the King of Soy. Those the gay little ground and pound. And then they're actually not right away being solid, but it's like good, solid, consistent ground and pound. Then it starts to slow down, pick up, and then he jumps a heel hook. Sir, pourquoi? Why are we doing this? Why are we jumping heel hooks? I mean, clearly pointless. Just get up and drop him again. But then again, I say get up and drop him again, as if it's not just smarter to take less damage, right? Write it out. But it's just, why risk heel hook with Mr. Grappler? You just got submitted by Ortega. Let's not forget that, right? You just got ragdolled by Ortega. But anyways, gets back up. And Yair's just running because he knows he's won the fight. And I think it is fair to run. You've won the fight. And Pitbull is salty. And he's like, come on, man. Come on. And it's like, dude. You're the one who has to run in headfirst like a bull. You've been pieced up for 14.5 minutes. This is not on you to start emote maxing and complaining. You're the loser. Yeah, you can cry all you want. Half your paycheck's down the drain. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Yair wins it. Finally beating up one of these Bellator bums. Get out of here. I'm sick of it. UFC King. But let's move on. Bryce Mitchell. Bryce Mitchell versus Gene Silva. Oh, I was so close. So close to switching to Bryce Mitchell, too. Lord gets it done. And, sure, Bryce Mitchell was doing a solid job at the start of, not the start, for the majority of the first round. He was doing a good job of, I don't want to say pitter-pat shot here, pitter-pat shot there, but they were pitter-pat shot here, pitter-pat. It was knee stomp, not really committal or hurting. Solid leg kicks, and it would make Gene Silva reset, take a step, and then go, okay. And then solid side kicks to the body. But they were clearly doing more than nothing, but they weren't doing the most, right? But he was outpointing him, outstriking him. I'll show you the stats for round 1, because he was pretty clearly ahead, yeah. Ahead, and got a takedown, but Gene Silva was so confident. He's just oozing confidence, dude. He's marching forward. He's not scared of anything, even though he's getting touch. There's nothing crazy where Gene Silva's scared, right? And he's just going for it, and then pulls a nasty guillotine. I didn't think it would finish the fight, but the more and more he was committing, I was like, oh, damn. he's going for this. He might actually submit a jiu-jitsu guy. And I know Ilya did it. There's different circumstances around that, and we've mostly just seen Gene Silva as this pure, brutal striker, right? And he just keeps pushing. Round ends. And he gets up from the takedown, too. Like, there was not an ounce of control that was working for Bryce Mitchell on the ground. And the second the round ends and you're going into round 2, it's getting scary, right? Because it's like Bryce Mitchell, his only success has been on the feet. And it just feels like Gene Silva's trying to find his timing. And he's starting to get into it. And you see. So, round 2 starts. I think he drops him pretty early, but let's say drops. Now, this is still a very effective technique, but Bryce Mitchell wasn't too hurt per se. He steps behind Bryce Mitchell's lead leg with his, I guess his lead leg too. Punches him while stepping behind him, completely off balance, falls over himself. Beautiful strike, beautiful visuals for the judges. That, I mean, 1000 IQ, right? I don't know what I just said, but beautiful, crafty, beautiful, and just piece him up, and his striking's there. He's going for spinning elbow, they're landing. Fakes the spinning elbow. Bryce Mitchell falls for it, goes for a takedown, defends it. Bryce Mitchell is spamming this shit, by the way. It's getting desperate. It's like, takedown after takedown after takedown, right? Also, may I just say, Bryce Mitchell is not touching Gene Silva's glove, and I know you are convinced he is a demonic spawn of Satan, but Jesus Christ, dude, it's sport. Let's calm down. Let's take the tinfoil off and touch his glove. I don't think Gene Silva thought it much past it being sport, so let's calm down. But anyways, Bryce Mitchell was just getting too desperate, and stuck his head right into a ninja choke, just like the one Leon versus Kobe. And there was one that actually finished before that. Yeah, Saeed Nurmagomedov got a couple good ninja chokes, but Gene Silva's locked it in, and he's confident, and he was fishing for it earlier in the fight, but this time he was very confident. Gets it in, they get to the ground, and Gene Silva rolls to north-south with it and finish it off. Bryce Mitchell taps, but then continues to go out. And, dude, he's him. I mean, there's not much to say other than he is him. He's looking amazing. He's now ranked within the top, I think, 13 now. Also, incredible to say, Paddy Pimblett's ranked 7. Uh-oh. But, yeah, Gene Silva's ranked 13. He's deserving that shot up. I mean, this guy is nothing but star power. Amazing. Well, let's move on. Oh my god. If Volkanovski got flatline KO'd, this is what would have made me happy. When Dominick Reyes snapped him with that jab earlier, I was like, oh! And I was like, oh no, he didn't capitalize on it. Nikita Krylov's going to get back into it. He spent 2 years getting this back piece, and he's just going to aura farm and flatline Dominick Reyes. Boom, dude! That beautiful pull counter from Dominick Reyes is always there. It will never not be there. Flatlines Nikita Krylov, sent him to the shadow realm. The Dominator is ready to dominate anyone inside that top 10. He called for a win. I mean, one more win and a title shot. I don't know, but I mean, if he's ranked 8 and he beats, and if they give him a high-end favorable matchup where he gets another finish, dude, this might be a career resurgence we're not ready for, dude. And I think it's time to hop on the train early. Dude, he is on a 3-fight KO streak. He's looked outstanding. And now, maybe we start making excuses for Nikita Krylov, because who knows what he just went through. But he just disappeared for 2 years. Like, what were we doing? I mean, time to be more active, right? And I know he switched flags, and there was a whole little war in that area of the world. It was a little sus, right? Might have to do something with that. But, yeah, I mean, the Dominator's back, dude. There's not much to say other than I am shocked. And bro wasn't phased. Walked through it. How could I call it a fluke? One buddy didn't even get touched. 4 significant strikes. To who? To what? Dude, making it up by the government. Dominick Reyes looked amazing. Let's go. Now let's talk about an absolutely god-awful stoppage. I'm not salty, by the way, at the stoppage. I mean, no. I'm not saying the stoppage was god-awful. Let's not get me wrong. But after hearing the scorecards were 2-0, all to Danny, I thought this was a 1-1 fight. I don't know. I mean, Danny probably would have finished him, but dude, Sean Woodson was like recovering. I, I'm just so lost for words. Like, what was that stoppage? So, yeah, this is the round I thought Sean Woodson won. He was just out pitter-patting them, right? Not much to say. Ige probably landing the bigger shots, sure. But it was just jab after... And solid knees, too, that I swear commentators were just not reacting to. I mean, there's 3 of you guys. Open your bloody eyes, mate. Stop talking about how this guy's from Mars or this guy... I was just slipped up into some weird shit, but... Dude. Okay, gets out... he outstrikes Ige in round 1. Round 2 happens, and it's a lot closer. And Sean Woodson's ahead in the strikes. But... the Ige shots were just... like, I mean, the boxing was looking so much more cleaner from Ige this round. Specifically the power shots, right? You see it's only a 3-strike differential in the significant strikes. But they were just better from Ige. Round 3 happens, and it looks like that momentum's swinging that way. Ige's still ahead. He's landing the better shots, and he rocks him. And he slowly chases him down. And he's not loading up on any shots. He's touching him. And it's not ending. And it's going over. And I see how this bum local random ref, it gets a little scared. It's like, oh my god, this guy's getting beaten up so bad. I better get in. It's like, dude, this is a ranked fight. These aren't bums getting ready to lose their health. This is a ranked fight. This is a horrible stoppage. What are you doing? I'm so sick of it. Just let it go on longer than shorter. Like, he's on a single leg trying to get up. And there's another stoppage that was complained about earlier on this card. That was a perfect stoppage. It was the Sedriques Dumas Oleksiejczuk fight. This versus that is the difference between how to do a perfect stoppage and a horrible stoppage, right? Because there was a bunch of unanswered shots happening, just like the other one. But what was the other guy doing in the Dumas fight, right? Dumas was covering up and not improving position. Sean Woodson was taking shot after shot after shot and realized, oh, this isn't working out. Time to change position. He kept trying new things. He was getting pieced up against the fence. Time to shoot a takedown. Getting pieced up. Okay, this isn't working. This is nowhere near in. And if I shoot for this, I might end up in a bad position. Time to change shots again, right? Or change positions again. He goes for it. The ref doesn't give him the chance to. I'm getting lost for words on how consistently dumb all of these refs are. And there's so many local ones that are idiots too. Like, I'm sorry. I'm not to rant on these people who are on the big stage. And I know this guy has been reffing Tomato Can Joe versus Pack of Sardines Dean, right? On the regional scene, fight after fight after fight. And now he gets his one big step up and there's nerves. Then don't. I mean, can we not just buy out Herb Dean? That sounds a little bad, but buy Herb Dean, buy Mark Goddard, buy Jason Herzog, buy Mike Beltran, and just keep them locked up in a basement and have them ref every fight, right? And I know they make bad calls, but like these random bum refs, and I'm talking about you too, Chris Tiny, Kerry Hadley, other people losing their hair. You know what? I give Keith Peterson a hug. I think he's doing enough fine in this world. Dominick Cruz can cry and gaslight you every card, but one bad stoppage there isn't going to ruin a full career. John McCarthy's had bad stoppages too. These other guys are so consistent. Tony yelling about fence grabs that aren't happening, card after card after card, is going to make me... right? Like, anyways, we'll move on because this turned into an absolute pointless rant. But Ige, never losing to unranked guys. He's going to bring himself back up to lose to, like, Giga Chikadze or something now. He's good floating from that number 9 to number 15 spot, but he will never get dropped out of those rankings. He's just too good for that. Moving on. Excuse me. That's disgusting. Anyways. Dude. So, this fight probably should have been on the main card. And I know. Boo me right now, because that is an egregious statement, right? And I hate the women's fight as much as you guys. Don't worry. But, let me just say this. We need a bit of a break after Dominick Reyes absolutely mops the floor with Nikita Krylov. And I'm stealing this take from Lucas Tracy. Let me not claim this as my own. He had a good point, though, where it's like you need that poop break. I think it was the card with Roofy, the 313 with the spinning wheel kick, right? You need that women's fight break, right? Because here's the example. Remember that Gaethje fight? I think it was Gaethje Chandler into a Shane Burgos fight, right? And the crowd was going crazy for Gaethje Chandler, and then no one cared about the Shane Burgos fight. That would have been this fight, right? And Who's the guy who needs to make an... I wouldn't even be mad at Yair versus Pitbul. Because those Pitbul didn't show up. This guy's had some stinkers in the past, let's be completely honest, when he's not randomly fluking a finish. Put him on the main event, because a lot of people are tuning in, because this is a lot more financially accessible for people to tune into. And I know you can illegally stream, blah, 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 whatever. This is a lot of eyes on the main event of the prelim, right? We don't need Dan Ige. People already know who that fool is. Move this fight up on the main card. Let it be the energy break, and let Pitbull and Yair make that. Because especially if Hunter's calling for Yair to get the next title shot, right? But then again, it's a bad luck he's on the prelim. We'll get that into the card builder next week, though. Anyways, get into the fight. I mean, round 1 happens, and Jandiroba's looking decent. I know. Energy's killed in the review somehow. Looking decent, gets taken down, getting outdone, right? And there's a nasty sub at the end of round 1, I think. Round 2 happens, and just takes her down instantly. Just zooms out, steamrolls her. Another close armbar. Jandiroba is looking so much less explosive at the end of this round. Round 3 happens. Kind of the same thing. There's a fence grab before listen to this butterfly effect. I'm going to go full schizo for a second. So, Jandiroba grabs the fence, right? But Vivian Jandiroba... I'm just going to call her Jandiroba from the rest of this, but takes her down from the clinch within that same exchange about 2 seconds later, right? They continue on. Armbar is fully locked in. And I know women's armbars take longer. But this armbar is fully locked in. I said the other ones were locked in. This one's locked the heck in. How about that? Right? Put some emphasis on that. Locked in, but round ends. So if she had that extra second or two from that takedown, is there a chance she just snaps this bitch's arm straight in two? Like a damn Q-tip? I'm just saying. And I'm only just saying because this fight was pretty boring. But hey, did I not say, if there's someone looking like that coming out of Brazil, they got the shit bullied out of them, head stomped on in preschool, probably. So of course she's going to win because she's been fighting like that. And also, a level of grappling like that is never going to be caught up to by someone like Jandiroba. And it's the same thing with Yair's Taekwondo. A level of striking like that is going to be hard to catch up to. Just wrestle him, right? Let's wrestle. But Vivian Jandiroba, she's going to get the next title shot. And I don't know if that's going to be a vacant one. Or with Weili. That depends on 315 though. Depends on if Shevchenko wins. Because no one wants to see Weili versus Fiora. That would kill all the aura if Fiora beat Shevchenko and Weili. But wow, we have the new next great, right? Moving on. Jim Miller, Chase Hooper. Now, can we not keep this absolute degenerate lunacy off the post-fight press conference? I don't want to hear that your arms were tired from gooning all week. Please. Family-friendly channel, dude. The UFC, family-friendly. But that fight, I mean, didn't live up to expectations. I was like, round 1 happened. Jim Miller, did he go for the guillotine in this round? Oh, he had 2 sub-attempts. Yeah, he goes for the guillotine. And he's looking kind of like a good dog of this fight because getting outstruck, but look at the significant strikes. They're 10-10, right? He's going piece for piece, and he had solid control time in this round, right? And so that round happens. Not the most exciting round. Round 2 partakes. And Chase Hooper starts with his first banana split. His first calf slicer, also threatening twister, right? Jumping. Oh, that happens more in the 3rd round, but it's the same position. Same threat. And I'm going to count round 2 and round 3 as one round because the same shit happened. Dude, a 2-on-1 grip from Jim Miller negated all of Chase Hooper's submission threats that I just listed between round 2 and round 3. A 2-on-1 grip stopped all of them. And so it just stalled out the fight. Nothing boring. Because that's all Chase Hooper was fishing for. And that was just... And Jim Miller had the defense. So nothing was going to happen. And then Chase Hooper took back, kind of... was not committing to the second hook. He would rather just go for this funky position for the twister. Couldn't get the finish. I don't know if we're starting to see the skills ceiling or Jim Miller's unfinishable, right? Who knows? Chase Hooper, it's going to be harder to pick him because the level of competition is about to snap up. Because Jim Miller is that test you get before starting to get that top 15, right? Dude, who's the next call for Chase Hooper? Because if they're going to give him someone ranked, it's going to be like, oh, he might have to fight Ludovic Klein, dude. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, we might get... Maybe Thiago Moises is a fair fight, but he's going to have to start picking up with these harder fights, right? He's not going to have to kill another old guy. We're going to move on, because there's not much to say about the next fight, but we are going to talk about an old guy getting slaughtered. Darren Elkins versus Juicy J. Now, I thought I was doing good on this card, but holy, was this an absolutely awful pick? I picked Darren Elkins. And I maybe I should lose all credibility. Even though, hey, let me just flex real quick. I think I went like 8-2 last card. Before that, like 9-3 or 9-2. I went insane. This card, I think I went 9-4. But why did I pick Darren Elkins? I honestly have no idea. I was like, damn, Julian Erosa only beats good guys. He's had so many bad fluke losses, and Darren Elkins been fluking some weird ones too. It's gonna be Darren Elkins fluke. Dude, he got out. And I swear Julian Erosa even made it look a little harder than he needed to. But just ran through him. We don't need to see Darren Elkins ever fight again. That was honestly sad. If it is, make it a complete bum legacy fight. Even Cub Swanson's way too high level. Maybe Vince Pichel. But I think Vince Pichel walks circles around whatever this is. Right? Like, we need to have a full geriatrics, Bruce Buffer making his debut kind of thing. Like, that's how bad of a beatdown. And I mean, 54 to 13 significant strikes within 4 minutes. That wasn't even within the first one. Within 4 minutes. And sprawled on him. And Julian Erosa got taken down early, and I was like, hey, this is a pretty damn good pick. I thought I was on something. And then up kick, no. No, and that up kick was the beginning of the end, because after that, shot after shot after shot, destroying Erosa, and it was like the that one Gene Silva versus Weston Wilson, I think. It's the same thing where the commentator voice line, he's moving in slow motion, man. He's looking like he's moving in slow motion. It was. He looked underwater, like he's floating around. He fell over. And I don't even remember what he fell over with in the first round. There was some absolute bullshit. He just lost his balance. DC was saying, zero balance from Elkins. And it was that. It was a horrible assault. This wasn't even a fight. No fight back in him. It was sad, honestly. Moving on to the early prelims. These were pretty good early prelims, dude. Sedriques Dumas. Keep crying, bitch. He gets dropped seemingly by a bicep. If you look at the punch, and like I thought it was a punch to the top of the head at first, but it looks like he catches in between here, right? It wasn't that clean of a punch. Slowly poking at range. Oh no, yeah, I mean they're slowly poking at range. Not much was happening at distance, and then bam, drops him right on his back. Go back to stealing lobsters again, buddy. Like boom, gang in this shit, and then proceeds to take. Let me just guess. There was like, even if we're giving him the benefit of the doubt, there was 10 strikes before that. That's what, 24 unanswered strikes from Oleksiejczuk. Are we serious? Are you serious right now? 24 unanswered shots, and you're not rolling. You're not trying to isolate a limb. You're not trying to like. At least, was it Chandler when he would get hurt? He would. No, it wasn't Chandler. It was someone else on this card. But they would grab. Oh, yeah, Patricio Pitbul. He was getting hit with the Yair devastating ground and pound. He would get really close and tuck his head in around his opponent's chest, so there's no leverage of any shots. Maybe he could at least do that. No, this was the prime defense. Lay back, cover up and turtle, and even if like 70% of those shots are hitting the guard, you know how visually bad that is. And a lot of the shots were still breaking. A lot of crafty little elbows. Oleksiejczuk, dude, what did I say? He's going to make a war out of this hoe. And Sedriques Dumas is not ready for no war. He's ready for a pitter-pat 29-28 decision where he barely does anything. And Oleksiejczuk shows out like he usually does. Keep putting this guy into crowded fights, dude. He always has wars. Whether he's winning or losing, it's always a highlight. Shout out Oleksiejczuk for putting this shit out for the fans. That was fun. That was a fun fight. Sedriques Dumas getting a little questionable in the UFC now. You can cry all you want. The decision was made, right? But let's move on because we're on early prelims. We can speedrun this shit. This split decision pissed me off. We'll go round by round on it, but I don't even want to stick on it too long. So, Raposo's just boring. Let's get that out of the way. So he thinks it is perfectly fine to get outstruck at range for the entirety of the fight than just go for takedowns with 0 damage. Right? Like, look at the total strikes. Let's round this, right? Let's say it's 80 to 15. 80 to 15 in strikes, right? What the hell? How is it a split decision? And I get damage-based scoring first, right? But you still have to score takedowns and some effective grappling. But this is beyond that. So round 1. Mitch Raposo's best round. It does not get better than this. And I will only say this is his best round because he had one memorable shot. So he goes for a takedown, and instead of continuing to give him a nice thigh massage and doing nothing, he broke from the takedown and landed a nice shovel left hook. And I was like, damn, I love when guys do that, when they know the takedown's not in and they're just going to be clinching. Nice quick break, reset, nice little shot, score you a nice little point, right? Make a little head in the judges. And then he proceeds to not do that for the rest of the fight. I thought it was a split round. Could go either way. I picked Sumudaerji because I'm biased, but Raposo could have won it. I mean, completely boring. Round 2, so how is this? Okay, we'll look at round 2 and 3 at the same time. Right? How is this fight a split decision? Look at the numbers. And I'm sure 3 takes on 1 takedown. Sumudaerji's average time to get up was 11 seconds, dude. It wasn't like he was getting controlled. A lot of these were jabs and leg kicks and nothing shots. Who cares when the other guy has landed 2 strikes and 3 strikes in the round? 29-28 is first of all gross, but I get it. They were booing Sumudaerji, right? But that's all Mitch Raposo had, is the crowd is booing him because he was Chinese. Succulent Chinese meal. This was, Sumudaerji clearly won. I thought I was going to be so pissed if they gave it to the other guy. Only because I picked Sumudaerji, by the way. But still. No, this was an absolute... Cut Raposo. Absolutely boring and you're losing. You're only allowed to be boring if you're a winner. Like, if you're losing and boring, no time for you. Especially in the lower tiers. You can be boring and win belts, but in the lower tiers, no. So this fight, odds were honest and made sense, but damn, Peanut Head put it in for me. I still love you, Tresean Gore. You still belong in the UFC. I'm still behind the bandwagon. We're going to rebuild. I didn't pick you. Because, of course, Tulio was going to walk through you. But damn, you show some heart in there, dude. So, I remember watching the tape for this fight. Tulio, the second he hurts, he's so good with those spinning kicks and flying knees. Dude, I wrote down this shit. Dude, he's dropping. Body kick, leg kick, spinning back fist, right? Flying knee, head kicks, deep to the body, Superman punches. Bro, these up elbow, right? And he's looking amazing. He's mixing up so well. And these are not pitter-pat shots. These are cracking the guard. Tresean Gore should have been a dead man over 20 times. He dogged this shit out. He looked like a warrior. Marco Tulio was piecing him up. And Tresean Gore was rocking Tulio back. This was such a fun fight. If you missed this, dude, go scam this shit off YouTube. It was outstanding. Dude, this should get 50K easily. This fight was so good. But round 2 picks it up. And now, also, let me say, so Tulio let's look at the numbers for round 2. 77 significant strikes, right? So, do right now. Throw 77 significant strikes at your fucking wall, right? Now, let's say you're doing this to a 5-minute timer, and you've done a shit ton of strikes. Your wall has only landed 15 strikes back to you, let's say, in this scenario. Are you gonna try to knock the wall out in the last 10 seconds, or just, I've won this round, let me ride it out? The second Tulio tries to ride out this last 15 seconds, he's looking like he's slowing down, dude. Oh my god, I'm foaming at the mouth. I think he's gassing. Like, shut the fuck up. A fighter can take off 5 seconds and not be gassing. Let this play out. Let's not get a little excited because this fight's a war, but I get it. This fight was outstanding, right? Go to round 2. I'll make you shed a tear, but go to round 2. More of the same shit, right? And now the leg kick's starting to slow down Tresean Gore. Tresean Gore's, I think he lands like one solid successful counter where I go, ooh, but that was it. Tulio is now starting to drop him. He drops him bad the first time. Some good ground and pound here and there. A lot of shots are getting through, but then he gets back up And the second time he drops him, you knew it was one of those things where it's like, oh, he's lost his chin. He's taken too much damage. Like Tresean Gore, I mean. He's been dropped bad back to back, and he is not recovering this time. The ref did a beautiful stoppage on this fight. Gave him every chance he needed to, because Tresean Gore was doing enough to show that, hey, I'm still in this fight. I'm still a dog. For the first knockdown of the first big chunk of this fight where he's taking a shit ton of damage, he's like, hey, I'm still here. I'm still looking for the big shot, still countering. But this was a perfect stoppage. Tresean Gore, heal up, brother. You can still knock out some bums on the Apex card. And I swear, you can still suplex Sedriques Dumas and make him a foot shorter. Kill that man. I know what's in you. Tulio, dude, put him on a crowded thing every time. Honestly, I think there's a Brazil card in the making, right? Like, we're waiting for this shit. Not Pantoja headliner. I have different plans for Pantoja and a card builder, but... Oh, wait, no, I don't. What am I talking about? But Tulio deserves to be on a Brazil card. Maybe Pantoja. Maybe not. Gene Silva could be, even if you want to do a fight night, like just before COVID when we had Kevin Lee versus Charles Oliveira, we could have Gene Silva versus like a number 8. Like a Lerone Murphy, Gene Silva, and then a Tulio in like a feature fight. I don't know who'd be the co, but you do that. But Tulio looked outstanding. Insane amount of weapons he has at his little batarang, his little Batman utility belt. Got all them things. And now, possibly here for the longest breakdown. Nora Cornhole. Here's what I have written down. Looked whatever, but her opponent defended the rear naked choke. Oh yeah, dude, defend the submission, dude. Like, I mean, tap if you're a bitch, sure. But the amount of times, like Volkanovski is a perfect example, right? Here's another one. That rear naked choke was in, and she fought the hand and broke out of it for a second. And of course, the rear naked choke was readjusted. She's finished. But dude, fight. Now, though her striking looks amazing, she got trampled over in the first and just controlled. But she tried a submission. Good for you. Didn't work. Dude, she's dumb. She's willing to take bottom position for submission. Eileen Perez will just control you on the ground. That's what she called it, by the way. Call it Eileen Perez. Sorry, I'm not going to do the matchmaker video on Nora Cornhole. I don't care. But called out Eileen Perez. Solid call out. Make it. Cornhole was somehow ranked, even though I don't remember her at all. She's 2-1 in the UFC, now 3-1. Sure, you've earned yourself the Eileen Perez fight, dude. Honestly, I don't know why I'm being so bummy. Finish in a woman's fight, right? I'm just a complainer, but solid win. Let's see how I did. Just make sure I'm 9-4. 1-1. 1-1. 1-0. 2-0. 3-0. 4-0. 4-1. 5-1. 6-1. 6-2. 6-3. 7-3. 8-3. 8-4. 9-4. Let's go, man. Dude, I was so pissed looking at Chandler's dumb oaf face. I just see Volkanovski. I'm just gonna... The fuck? The end screen of this video is just gonna be Volkanovski. Dude. Oh, yeah. I can click on him and it opens, but now... Fucking open, dude! Okay, my internet's not working. I can't look at my glorious king, but... That was my event reaction. A recap to this card. Thank you for watching. This was an amazing... Oh, there's my glorious king. Thanks for watching. Peace out. And I'm going to try... Not peace out yet. I'm going to try to fill out this week with videos, because this week's going to be a drought. No fight. Yeah, no fight this week, but peace out. Thanks for watching.